Recording in progress.
I know. Okay. Get that in there. Why am I not showing up in the waiting room? Oh, come on. Okay. No audio. Trying to see if I don't think I can change the name, so you're just going to be Camille Clemens.
Okay.
I'm going to turn it over. Oh, wait, no, we do on it like that. And now it's on you. Okay. And, oh, you're sideways. Why are you sideways? Oh, come on. Okay. No, you are not sideways. Why am I so bad at this? Okay, good. All right, now I'm gonna let everybody in. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going, guys?
Good. Good.
Good.
Awesome. So I see we've got our kits. That is great. Everybody make sure you got your kits. You can go ahead and open them, but we do have a little bit of a surprise for y'all. So y'all are gonna find this little bag. You're gonna find a little drawstring bag. Make sure you do not open that yet, okay? Just leave this as it is. You can kind of look at the stuff in the kit, but don't open your little drawstring bag quite yet. We're gonna explain everything here in a couple of minutes. But we're also just going to give it a minute for everybody to actually get in the meeting. And so in the meantime, I just wanted to remind y'all that even though like the school year is starting soon and everything, y'all can still turn in reading logs for Summer Reading Club until the end of August. So we're accepting them basically until the last day of August. So make sure you're filling those out. Y'all can take credit for an hour of reading because you're in this program. So make sure that you mark that off if you have a reading log with you today. And also remember that we have Back to School Bash this Saturday. So that's going to be a really fun program. We have a bunch of like STEAM activities that you can do, and you can pick up kits for that at any of the libraries. I know we have a bunch left that people can pick up. And that's just going to be a Facebook program. So make sure you pick up a kit for that one because it's going to be really fun. And let's see. Okay, we've got a lot of people in the meeting now. I'm afraid to start sharing my screen too soon because I don't want to not be able to let people in from the waiting room. But I am going to let y'all know that I have a friend here with me today who is going to tell us about fossils, who's going to help us identify stuff that we find. So this is my friend Deva. Her screen says Camille Clemens because it's my phone, but her name is Deva. And Deva, why don't you tell us a little bit about why I have you here with me today?
Well, Camille and I have been friends for a long time because we both enjoy fossils and used to work together. I'm studying to be a paleontologist. I'm starting at Baylor University this fall, so just at the end of this month. And I have been addicted to fossils ever since I was a kid. So I found my first fossil when I was about 8 years old, and I've been hunting them down ever since.
Awesome. So I'm very happy that Deva is able to be here with us today. And we are going to actually be finding our own fossils today, which is very exciting. So first, we want to tell y'all a little bit about the fossils that we're going to be finding. So I am going to share my screen. Let me find it. I always have trouble doing this. Here we go. Share screen. And I wanted to show y'all some pictures that Miss Deva sent me. That started at the last one, so we'll go back to the first one. All right, so what are we looking at here, Miss Deva?
So that is a dig that I did in Montana. So I was working on a little bit of a Triceratops skull there. So you can see that I've got a tool called an awl, kind of looks like a pointy screwdriver. And then the little bit of bone that you're seeing there is part of the frill that's at the back of the head of a Triceratops. So,
Ooh,
yeah.
very cool. I'm gonna flip back to Zoom real quick just so I can let people in from the waiting room.
Okay.
And now back to the presentation. All right.
And then that is a different Triceratops. So the place where we work in Montana, Triceratops is just a really, really common dinosaur. So that's what we tend to find. So I'm holding up a grid. I'm the one kneeling, holding a yellow grid. And then my friend Steve is sketching out the fossils. He drew the same grid on his paper, and it made it easier for him to map the way the fossils were laid out. And then my friend Andrew is the one in red, and he is working a little bit on, I think, part of the horn of the Triceratops there.
Wow, that's awesome. Oh, once again, got to go let people in. Admit and back. I love this one.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite digs I've ever done. So that was the Ellis County Mammoth Project. So really close to Waxahachie, which is a little bit south of here. They found a mammoth in a gravel quarry. And so we spent a couple months uncovering her, and she is now on display at the Perot Museum, and they nicknamed her Ellie Mae. Yeah.
I love that picture because if y'all look, you can see pretty clearly kind of how the animal is laid out. So like the curved thing kind of close to the front is a tusk, as y'all could probably guess.
Yep.
You can see its head, you can see its little ribs, you can see leg bones. So sometimes you look at a fossil in the ground and it just kind of looks like a big jumble, but we can pretty clearly see a mammoth in this picture, which is extremely cool.
Yeah.
There's one more, I believe.
That's that second trike again. So the part that, let's see, who is that in the picture with me? I think that's Brandon. So Brandon and I are working on what they call a squamosal. It's the side of the frill. And then toward the bottom right part of the photo, you can see all three of the horns. So your skull is made of multiple parts, lots of individual bones. And in this case, all of the bones had separated. So if you picture a skull as being like a deck of cards, and then how you would spread the cards out on a table, that's what the skull had done. So you can see well, it's not very large. By dinosaur standards, it's actually quite small. It's a baby Triceratops that we've been uncovering. Yeah.
That is so cool. So yeah, so y'all can see all of the work here that Miss Dava has done with real fossils. And so now, like I said, we're going to tell y'all a little bit about the fossils that we are going to be looking at today. So I've pulled up this website. It's called dinosaurpictures.org. So if you want to look at this later, you can kind of take note of that URL. And of course, I am recording this meeting as always. So I'm going to send y'all the link to the meeting recording after. So if you want to revisit any of this, you'll be more than able to do that. But we are going to look at exactly when our fossils for today came from. And Miss Dava, how long ago was that these fossils are from?
They average out to about 19 to 20 million years old.
So at the top of here, we can do what did Earth look like? And it gives you a lot of different options. And we're going to do 20 million, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to go to 20 million years ago. And then where are we going to go?
Aurora, North Carolina.
Okay. So guys, this is where your fossils are going to be from today. Aurora, North Carolina, US. There we go. So it's finding that location for us. And now we've got the little pin there.
Yep.
Now what do I do, Miss Dava?
Well, so one of the things that we're able to do in paleontology is you make predictions, or that fancy word hypothesis, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to be looking at fossils from Aurora, North Carolina that are about 20 million years old. And if you look at where Aurora is on that map, you'll notice that it's near a shoreline.
Mhm.
So it's in the ocean, but it's not the deep water, it's the shallow water. And it's also right on the beach. And so we're able to predict what sorts of fossils you would find there. So is there a way that we can get some predictions from our participants here?
Yeah, so what kind of fossils do y'all think we're gonna find? Like what kind of animals, like what kind of parts of the animals? Y'all can, I can't see y'all, so you can unmute yourselves and just say what you think. Any ideas of what kind of fossils we would find that come from water?
Legs and wings.
Maybe like
and fins.
Fins.
Shark.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the animals might have had fins.
Yep, yeah.
What kinds of animals do y'all think they would have been?
I think they would have been
the really big
megalodons.
sharks. Yeah, the megalodons.
Somebody said megalodon. That's great. Yeah. So what is a megalodon, guys? Can y'all share what a megalodon is for anybody who might not know?
I have a question.
What's your question?
Do we need terms for this project or something?
Do you need what?
Terms. I'm just thinking. Do we need terms?
I'm not quite sure what
Okay.
I'm not quite sure what you're asking about. I'm sorry. Well, y'all, I think I neglected to mention this when I emailed y'all, but you will actually want to have like a paper plate or like even just a piece of paper on your table, because looking for fossils can get a little bit messy. So y'all can kind of grab that while we're talking. But like I said a minute ago, somebody mentioned a megalodon. Can anybody describe what a megalodon is?
A megalodon is the biggest shark, but it is also extinct.
Right, very good. It's an ancient extinct giant shark. That's exactly right. Okay, so now I'm going to take it back to Zoom. Was that all we needed with the map, Miss Dava? Okay, cool. So let's go back here. Stop share. Okay, and so I've got a spotlight on Miss Dava here. I'm going to turn the camera and we're going to start looking in our kit. So what we gave y'all was we gave y'all your little bag, and y'all can go ahead and open that up so we can start to see what's inside. Miss Dava and I each have one that we're going to be using today. Now, what you've got in here is a bag of gravel that's from, like we said, Aurora, North Carolina. And you can go ahead and spread that out on your little surface in front of you. We've got our little trays here, but you might just have a piece of paper and that'll work too. Just kind of spread it out so you can see what you've got here. So the way that we like to look through it, I don't know what Miss Dava is going to want to do, but I like to kind of push mine over to one side and then pull it over little by little to look at smaller areas of the gravel at one time.
That is what I like to do as well.
Yeah, so Miss Dava is going to get hers ready so you can kind of see how we do that.
Yeah, so I like to spread mine out really thin, and that way anything in there is easier to see. So you're seeing lots of little rocks here. You're going to see some kind of dark gray blobs, and that is a mineral called phosphate. You're also going to see some small clear rocks, and that's just little bits of quartz. And then here and there, you will find things like this.
Wow. So we have also included in y'all's kits 3 different sheets that y'all can go ahead and unfold. Y'all can't, I guess y'all can't see me because I've got Miss Dava spotlighted, but you've got 3 pieces of paper in there. They've got the big pieces of paper, not the little ones. And your big pieces of paper have pictures of different fossils that you might find in this gravel.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and get those out and you can just keep them nearby. And anytime you see something cool, make sure you kind of set it over to the side and you can compare it to your sheets.
Yeah, so this first tooth that I found is from a sand tiger shark that lived in the same waters as the megalodon about 20 million years ago.
Wow, it's so pointy.
It is. It has 3 points on it. There's
Oh
a
my
big point
goodness,
in the
yeah.
middle and then little points on either side of it. It's what we call a cusp and a cusplet.
Okay. It's just so like, it's so long, and I'm surprised it stayed intact in the gravel, because sometimes what
Mhm.
you'll find are little broken teeth. So if it
Mhm.
doesn't look like a perfectly intact tooth, it's still probably the real deal. It's just that it's possibly broken.
Yeah, you have to remember these animals lived in the water and their teeth were rolling around in the water. And sometimes that smooths them out a little bit. So now I have a second tooth that I found.
I have a question.
Okay.
Yes.
Are these real fossils that are in these gravel?
It's real. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm finding, let's see, I found kind of a cool looking little piece of coral in mine.
Oh,
Let
you
me see
sure
if I can get
did.
it under the camera so y'all can see. Yeah, so y'all can see it's got a bunch of little holes in it, and it
Mhm.
looks like a piece of coral. Let me see if, do we have coral on our sheet at all? Yeah, we do have at
We
least a little
do.
bit.
Yeah, on the one that has a big clamshell in the middle, there is a piece of coral right there.
Mine looks a little bit different than the one on that sheet.
Well, that's because you're looking at the backside of the opening. If you
Oh,
flip it
okay.
Oh, it's a
over,
different one.
yep.
I mean, it's
There you
broken, but
go.
yeah, you
Yeah.
would see
Yeah,
that
it's
same
shaped
pattern.
differently. Yeah.
So
Um,
coral is really fun because it actually tells us a lot about the environment.
What do you mean?
Coral needs warm water. And so when you find coral like that, you know that you're looking at a warm environment.
Very cool. So it looks like, I think Kira and Wendy found something that they were holding up to the camera. I'm going to spotlight y'all so we can see. Wow, we've got a big piece of a shell.
Yeah.
It looks like.
Yep, that large shell in the middle of the ID sheet that says Chesapecten. Yeah, that's what you've got. You've got part of a Chesapecten, and if I remember right, that is the state fossil of Virginia. Yeah.
I've looked it up before. What is the Texas state fossil?
Oh, Texas is weird. We have a state stone, which is petrified palmwood,
Mhm.
and then we also have a state dinosaur, which is the Plesiosaurus.
That's it. But we
Yeah.
don't have like a state fossil, right?
We don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird. I mean, if we were gonna get either a state fossil or a state dinosaur, I think a state dinosaur is maybe like a little cooler.
Right, right.
I'm looking through mine. I have found a lot of what I'm pretty sure are stingray teeth.
Oh.
So y'all.
Oh,
can
that is
see-
most definitely, yeah, that is most definitely a stingray tooth.
Yeah, y'all can see that here. When you see that edge that kind of looks like a comb, that lets you know that that's a stingray tooth.
Stingrays have really flat teeth, which they use to break open shells of like snails and
Mhm.
clams and things like that. And so a big part of the reason why so many of your shells are broken when you find them is because they're in the same water as those stingrays.
Oh, I think I found a piece of a shark tooth.
Oh, hey, yes, you did. Yes, you did.
There it is.
Yeah.
Y'all can see one of the little, what did we say those different parts of the tooth are called?
This big one in the middle is the cusp, and then the little points on the side are the cusplet.
Okay, then mine has a cusp and it has one of the cusplets broken off.
Mm-hmm.
But we can still kind of see what it looks like. And y'all can see that you got a lot of different shark teeth on your sheet, but you can kind of look at ways that they're different from each other and let that help you like figure out which one is the one that you're holding. Like some of them have serrated edges where they're kind of jagged and it kind of looks like a bread knife. Some of them don't. Some of them are a little bit smoother. Some of them go straight out and some of them kind of curve off to one side. So observing all of those things will help you figure out what kind of tooth you're holding.
I just started finding ray teeth just like you have. Mine are much smaller than yours though.
Yeah, I showed the biggest one that I had. I have two little fragments that are quite a bit smaller.
Yeah. I like rubbing the edge that feels like a comb.
Yeah.
It
It feels nice. It's very satisfying.
is. It kind of reminds me of the edge of a quarter.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
some coins, they feel like that.
It looks like the edge of a quarter. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I've got a few like fragments of things that I'm not totally sure what they are. like, I mean, this one looks like a shell, but I've got this thing.
Yes, that's definitely part of a shell.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
trying to get it to focus. Yeah, so you can kind of see there's a little bit of an indent in. It looks like it's probably the part right next to where the like if it were two shells, if it were a bivalve, it would
Yes.
connect, I
Yes,
guess.
yeah. So they have what they call a hinge.
Okay, I was
and-
gonna
yeah.
call it a hinge, but I thought
Yeah.
surely it's not just called a hinge.
No, we try to pick simple terms if we can.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
that's part of the hinge that you have there.
And oh my goodness, I just found two shark teeth, one after the other.
Oh, cool. Oh, yes, you did.
They're very tiny, very
They are.
baby.
Those are tiny little bull sharks or gray sharks.
Yeah,
Very, very
maybe,
cool.
I mean, the really tiny one looks a lot like this picture of the requiem shark tooth.
Yes, yeah. So the requiem sharks are a really large family, and they are notoriously difficult to tell apart.
Oh, great.
I'm actually terrible at it. Yeah, I'm good at many things, but that is not one of them.
This one is so shiny. The bottom part, the cusp of it is very shiny. I'm glad my phone is decent at focusing on these. But y'all can see how shiny that tooth is. He got a tooth cleaning right before he let that one go. There are more shark teeth in here than I was actually expecting when I first dumped mine out.
Yeah, you don't see them at first. It takes a while for your eyes to adjust.
Yeah. So if y'all dumped yours out and you were kind of like, oh man, no shark teeth, if you just look really close, you'll probably find at least a couple of really tiny ones.
Yeah, they're in there. They're just hiding.
Yeah. When I was packing these kits, I didn't see any big megalodon teeth, unfortunately, but
yeah.
maybe there might be fragments of them though. Did somebody have a question? I thought I heard a little voice.
Yeah, I found a lemon shark tooth.
Ooh, let's see.
Great. Those are one of my favorites.
Let's see. Who was that talking?
Me, Santiago.
Santiago, let me put a spotlight on you, Santiago, so we can see. Okay. Wow. Oh, cool. That's a pretty big one. That looks really
is.
neat.
That is a good size.
That's awesome. And you said it's a lemon shark?
It does look like a
Yeah.
lemon shark.
Very good. That's awesome. Okay,
Miss-
let me
Miss Camille.
Miss Camille.
Carter.
Hey, Carter, what's up?
Camille.
Yes,
I
what'd you
found
find?
some hair. I found some hair,
Oh,
and then I
Some
also
hair.
found this unusual white thing.
okay.
Oh.
Let me add a spotlight so we can get a closer look at you. Oh, I did Santiago again. Hold on. Y'all will have to excuse how bad I am at getting these spotlights right. Okay. All right.
Oh, that's a big old piece of shell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the-
both of those are.
The one in your left hand, Carter, is a piece of shell. Oh, you said the other one is too?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, cool. Those are nice. Those are really cool looking.
Oh, where's my skin? Oh, here it is.
That's cool. Okay, does anybody else have? Okay, let's see. It looks like Emma has a question. What's your question, Emma?
Is this a piece of
Let me spotlight you because I want to get a better look at that. Okay, let's see. Hold it. Try to hold it kind of steady in front of the camera. Miss Dava, do you have any ideas?
It looks like a bit of oyster.
Okay, that's part of
Yeah.
an oyster.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's a big piece you got in there. That probably made itself apparent right after you dumped out your gravel. That's cool.
I've got a little piece of oyster on mine that has some mother of pearl on it still.
Oh, cool. Here, wait, I don't have you spotlighted at the moment, so let me do that. There you go.
Okay, so I don't know if the
Oh,
light
it's
is
so shiny.
it is super shiny. Yeah.
That is really cool. Y'all can, it's very small, but y'all can see just how shiny that is. That's
Yeah.
very neat. Okay, I think Kennedy's got her hand raised.
Okay.
Kennedy, did you have a question?
On one of these too. She
Yes.
has one of those.
I have a little shark tooth and I have a coral. I have a part of a shark tooth and a coral.
Oh, very cool. Oh yeah, that's one of those big pieces of coral.
And I have
That's
2
cool.
pieces of coral.
Oh, neat. Yeah,
The
I can
little
see even
shark
from here,
tooth.
I can see the little holes in the coral. That's so cool. Can you hold up your shark tooth too?
Here it is.
Wow. The background's kind of, oh, I see
Oh,
it now.
yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty big one. Very
That
cool.
is.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that Looks like that might be some sort of mako.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh, Elliot's got a really cool shark tooth. Let's see this. Wow. Oh my goodness.
Wow. Actually, okay, hold that. Can you? Yes. Okay, there it goes. All right. Can you run your thumbnail on the edge of it and tell me if it feels smooth or bumpy? Is it like running your thumb on the edge of like a quarter, or is it real smooth?
It's sharp.
It's sharp.
Yeah.
Bumpy,
Yeah, it's like bumpy.
a little bumpy.
It
Bumpy?
is a little bumpy. Okay. It's hard for me to tell without seeing in person, but I think yeah, if we could just get the camera to focus
I
better on
know,
it.
yeah.
I think that might actually be a small, oh, that is, okay. Congratulations, kiddo. You got yourself a little baby megalodon.
Wow. That is awesome. That's great, Elliot.
That
You need
is
to hold on to
great.
that. Oh, which brings us to, if y'all find anything especially cool, like especially if you find something like a megalodon tooth, what we have included in the kit is y'all actually have these little ID sheets. And we've got some little bags for y'all too. So what you can do is you can grab, let me do this as an example. You can grab a bag. Here we go. So I've got my little bag here and I'm gonna take, let's see, I'm gonna take all of my shark teeth and I'm gonna grab them and put them in my little bag. And on my little sheet, I could write, well, this one says assorted reef fossils, so that's for everything you find. But I've also got a couple that say specimen and they've got a blank line and I could put shark teeth on it. And then I would just pop that in my bag. If I can get it open, my fingers are all dusty. I would just pop that right in my bag. And later I could look at that and I would know exactly what I had in my bag. There we go. I finally got that in there.
There we go.
So there, y'all can do something like that where you can have it labeled and then you've got your little specimens in there so you can see exactly what you found. And of course, at the bottom, you can say sorted from the phosphate matrix by your name. So I would put Camille on mine because I'm the one that fished it out of there.
Yeah, it's always really important to have information with your fossils, because sometimes you can find something and then you discover later it was actually like a really, really cool or rare fossil. And then when people ask you, well, where did it come from? And you're like, well, I don't know. So writing down information is always a good idea.
Yeah, and y'all already have on your little sheets exactly where they're from. They're from the Pungo River Formation in Aurora, North Carolina. So y'all have that already right there on your little sheets.
I think I found some coral.
Oh yeah, that does look like coral here. I'm gonna spotlight you so we can see that. Very cool. Yeah, we can see the little holes in there. Let's see. It looks like Elliot's got some coral too. That's neat.
Very good.
The coral to me, it kind of looks like little brains. Are you finding anything else cool, Miss Dava?
I'm finding little bits of little bitty teeth. I mean, teeny tiny little things.
Oh my goodness. It's so cute.
It is. It's a tiny little hammerhead. Hammerhead teeth are surprisingly small.
So I want to talk about shark teeth a little bit. So when we find like super teeny tiny ones, does that mean that it was a baby or does that mean it was just one of its smaller teeth?
It really depends on the shark.
Okay.
So some sharks were really big and they had really big teeth. And then some sharks were really big, but they had tiny teeth and just a lot more of them.
Okay. Yeah.
And then sometimes you've just got little bitty sharks and they have little bitty teeth.
Yeah. Well, and sharks all of them have a ton of teeth, right?
They really do.
and they just shed them all the time.
They do. A shark normally will keep a tooth for anywhere from a week to a month, and then they'll shed that tooth and it's already got a new replacement. And that's why shark teeth are actually a pretty common fossil, just because one shark would produce thousands, if not millions of teeth over the course of its life.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that does make sense if they're just shedding them all the time. And
They are.
teeth are like a pretty reliable for fossils, I guess, just because they're like enamel and they're going to hold up over time.
They are. It's a durable body part because it's meant to last for your lifetime, and it has to, crush up food. And so because it already has so many minerals in it, it does tend to preserve well.
Yeah.
I
So-
wish this weren't broken because it's a little bit of a dolphin tooth.
Oh, cool. A dolphin.
I just
How
found a
big-
giant tooth. I just found a
Oh,
giant-
cool. Here, let's see. Carter, let me spotlight you.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
I'm having a hard time focusing on what that is.
Yeah, we can't. Carter, if you want to like kind of put your hand behind it, the camera might focus a little bit better.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can
Hold it
like
up with one
hold it.
hand
You can
and-
hold it with
There
one
we go.
hand and then do that.
Actually, I'm not sure that that's tooth. I think that might be a little bit of bone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you will occasionally find some bone in here. Most of the animals that you're finding either had no skeletons at all, or their skeletons were made out of cartilage.
Yeah.
Your sharks.
Right.
But animals like dolphins do have true bone because they're mammals. And so most of the time, if you find any bone in this, it's going to be from something in the whale or dolphin family.
Okay, that makes sense. And yeah, like y'all might be noticing, what we're finding are like the rigid parts of the body. We're not finding like, a fin, for instance, has like cartilage inside of it, maybe,
Right.
or it's just kind of skin. But we're not finding soft parts of the body because those are much, much harder to preserve.
Mhm.
You basically like need to be frozen.
Yep.
Isn't that kind of the only time?
Oh, no. So frozen fossils do sometimes have soft tissue, but so do fossils that get trapped in amber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then occasionally peat bogs will pickle soft tissue. It's something we call saponification. It literally turns soft tissue into soap. Oh my gosh. I know.
I've heard of that before, but I'd forgotten the term and it sounds so weird.
It is extremely weird.
Turn them into soap. Because I know there's I think it's like the Mutter Museum in, I don't remember where that place is. It's somewhere up north, but it's like a medical museum. They have
It
a lot
is.
of, they have
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of weird medical specimens. And one of them, I think it's at the Mutter, is the soap lady.
Yes, there's actually several bodies like that in England. They call them bog mummies, but they're all saponified. They're all turned to soap, which is just very, very strange.
Do y'all want to see the extremely teeny tiny tooth I found?
So
It's so extremely baby.
Oh,
That's something I say to my cats. I say they're very baby. But I can't even get this to focus on it. It's so small.
yeah, that looks like a little bit of an angel shark.
Oh, yeah,
they're a
okay.
small shark with teeny tiny teeth.
Small shark, small teeth.
Yeah.
Wow, it's just so tiny. But yeah, like y'all will think I've done this a couple of times now. I'll think that I found everything in my gravel, and then I'll look a little more and I find a teeny, teeny, tiny shark tooth.
Mm-hmm.
So like we're saying, y'all can put what you're finding into your bags to make sure that you kind of keep track of it, because some of these are so extremely small. But don't kind of give up on your gravel until you've found multiple things, because y'all can't see my tray, but I've got like a decent little handful of shark teeth and different things that I've found. I think I maybe heard somebody having a question. Journey's got her hand raised. Did you have a question, Journey, or something to show us? Oh, what's that?
The
Let's
six-gill
see.
cow shark.
Is it a what?
6-gill cow shark.
6-scale cow shark. You might need to hold it a little closer to the camera.
Oh,
I can't quite see.
Yeah, I think that's some shell. Oh, yeah, that is
Oh.
shell. Yeah, that's part of the hinge. Oh, that would have been a really,
Oh.
big shell.
That's extremely cool looking.
Yeah, it
Okay, so
is.
that's part of the hinge on a shell. So when you've
Mhm.
got a shell, like we were saying, that's got kind of two parts of it, when it's a bivalve, it has the little hinge on it, and that's what that is. That's super cool looking, Journey. That's one you should put it in its own little bag. That's cool looking.
The question.
There was a question. Who's got a question?
I do.
Elliot?
Yes. What is this little bitty thing?
Let me get you a little bit bigger on the screen so we can see.
He's going to need to put his hand behind it. so
Yeah,
it
you might
focuses.
want to hold your hand behind it so we can get it to focus a little bit better. Okay, well, we might need a little closer to the camera.
Oh, I can't make that one out.
Yeah, it's kind of blurry, so it's a little hard to see. But the shark teeth aren't usually white like that, are they?
No, normally if it's white, it's part of a shell.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking just based on the color. It's probably a shell.
I've got a
Oh, but there's a tiny little tooth, it looks like. It looked really shiny.
that does appear to be part of a tooth.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
looks like mostly just the cusp. It looks like the
Mhm.
cusplets got
Yeah.
got broken off. But yeah, that looks like a little tooth.
And this tiny thing that I've got is just a really, really small clamshell. I mean,
Oh, wow.
it's
Yeah, no,
it's
I mean, I can
ridiculously
see it because
small.
I'm sitting here with you,
Yeah.
but it's very hard to get the camera to focus on that because it is so incredibly tiny. Okay, Emma has been very patiently raising her hand. What's your question, Emma?
What are these?
We're gonna have to look.
Okay, let's see. Let me get you bigger on our screen so we can see. Oh,
stingray.
yeah, stingray tooth. I've got one
Yeah.
of those too. Y'all can see mine here. Yeah, these we were saying earlier, these are super cool. Like I love finding these. I think they're so cool looking. They've got kind of that that texture that almost looks like the edge of a quarter. It's just got those little like lines on it, and it feels really cool. That's a great find. Good job, Emma. Let's see. I think I saw somebody else with their hand raised. Okay, so the Reyes kids, it looks like y'all have your hands raised.
We have a question.
Yes.
I have two questions.
What's the question?
So what are these?
Let me spotlight you so we can get a better look. Let's see. Okay, that looks like it might be a tooth based on the shape. So the way that you want to hold it is kind of hold it between your fingers and put your hand behind it. That way it'll focus. That way the camera will focus on it a little bit better.
So
Okay. You're gonna want to hold it a little closer to the camera because we can't quite see it from here.
We don't know.
Okay, hold on, because somebody else talked over. Like, we have to wait.
Okay. I think that's, so if y'all have something that kind of looks like a shark tooth, I'm sorry that just for some of them, I can't quite see them on the screen because just of camera quality and different stuff like that. So you might, but you can, I can see the ones, I'm not sure who that is. I'm sorry, but your name just says iPad and I can definitely see
yeah, on the paper.
y'all's. Yeah, on the page. That's a good way of doing it on the paper.
Yes. Oh.
Okay, so what have we got? What have we got here, Miss Deva?
So those are tiger-like sharks. These are one of my favorites. So when you look at your sheets, you're going to notice there's all kinds of different names for this one type. Some of them it'll say Galiocerdo aduncus or Galiocerdo contortus or Physigalius contortus, and you might be wondering, well, why does the name change? And there was a really cool mystery about these sharks. Yeah,
I know
yeah.
this one. I won't give it away.
Okay, so let's see how many scientists I have in the group who can figure out this mystery.
Do we think we know what these are while we've got them on spotlight?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So
have-
those are the ones that are labeled on one of the sheets as
Can you
Physigalius
spotlight
contortus.
that
Oh,
family?
okay.
All we can see is you guys.
Okay, I have it spotlight on Spotlight. What you might need to do is swipe over on your screen and it'll show you different views, and one of them should be
What is this?
the spotlights that I have up.
No, they're not gonna be on this, so.
Okay, so I'm gonna take Spotlight off of iPad. And now the spotlight we've got is on Miss Deva's sheet. So yeah, if y'all just swipe over, you should be able to see the different views.
Yeah. And we're talking about these.
What is
these two
this?
charts right here.
What is this? I have a question.
Yeah, Elliot's got something there.
It looks like it might be a piece of bone.
Yeah, that does look like maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so does anybody want to solve a mystery with me?
What is the
Thumbs up for anybody who wants to solve a mystery real quick. Okay, I see some
Perfect.
thumbs. All right. So these two sharks right here. One is Aduncus and one is Contortus. And for years, like 40, 50 years, scientists argued about what to name these two sharks. They were trying to figure out how they were related to each other. Should they both start Galliacerdo? Should they both start Physigallius? Or should they each get their own? And eventually, about 10 years ago, somebody figured out something. He said that whenever he would find lots of teeth, he would find Contortus and Aduncus together every single time. If you found one, you found the other. And if you added them all up, half of them would be Contortus and half of them would be Aduncus. They were always in equal numbers. So can anybody figure out why you would always find these two together and why you would always find them in equal numbers? Does anybody have any ideas about that? Okay, I see somebody raising their hand. What are your ideas on why you would always find these two together and always in equal numbers?
You can unmute yourself if you think you have the answer.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kennedy's got a hand raised.
Oh, I can't hear anybody.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Look at my tooth. My tooth is round.
Let's see.
See?
That one, let's see, that might be a shell.
Yeah, I think that might be a shell.
It's round and silver.
Oh, or you might have a piece of a mineral.
Or
Sometimes.
maybe a
And
shark
on the
vertebra?
brown, and on the back, it's a little brown.
A shark vertebra is gonna be like a coin, like a really fat coin.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I see. That's a cool looking one though. So, okay, guys, what do we think about the mystery that Miss Deva just told us about? What do we think? So why would they be finding these sharks in the same numbers and in the same places, you said?
Yep, always together. If you find one, you find the other.
Any ideas? You can unmute yourself if you think you know.
It's a male and a female together. I'm gonna put it on top of
I
the.
think I actually heard somebody say it.
a male or a female together.
That's exactly it.
Was
They're
that
the
was that you, Journey?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good.
excellent. All right. That is
There's
thinking like a
another
real
baby
scientist.
shell.
Yeah, great
Yeah,
job.
it turns out
There's
they are
another baby
actually the same species. One was the girl and one was the boy. We don't know why the girls and boys had different shaped teeth. That's not how it works in most animals, but that's what we have figured out.
Mhm.
So good job, Journey.
Yeah, very good. Good thinking. All right. So I mean, does anybody else have anything else they would like to show and tell? Because I think we're about wrapping up here.
Yeah.
What have you got, Santiago?
That I found that the one that was a shark is actually a sand tiger shark.
It's a different shark?
Yeah, it's a sand tiger. Shark.
Oh, sand tiger? Let's see. I'm trying to see on the
Yeah.
sheet where those are. Oh, I see. Sand tiger shark. Yeah.
Mhm.
Very cool. Good job. Yeah, sometimes if you look at it initially, you might not be totally sure which shark it is. You might kind of change your mind on your first identification. Elliot, did you have a question? You are muted at the moment, Elliot, but if you have a question, you can unmute yourself.
I have a question.
Yes.
What is this little thing?
The camera's right here.
Let's see. Think your whole, it's a little, well, okay. Get a decent idea. Can you hold it just a little further back?
Oh, that's shell.
Okay, that's a piece of shell.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, I found lots of little shell fragments in mine.
So many shell fragments. I mean, it's a fossil beach. There
Yeah,
are shells on the beach.
it makes sense. Yeah, shells are very easy to find, even not fossil ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so y'all can, anything you found that was especially cool, you can go ahead and put it in the little tiny baggies that I gave y'all. You can keep it separate. And then if you want to put them all in one bag, you can do that too. You can put your little label in with it. I would recommend keeping the gravel, and you can go through it another time and see if you can find anything new in it that you missed the first time. Because like I said, I keep kind of going away from mine to talk to y'all. And then when I look back at it again, I'm like, oh, there's something right there that I missed that I didn't see when I was looking through it earlier. Especially those extremely tiny shark teeth. Those will jump out at you when
Yes.
you didn't see them at first.
I
But
have
yeah,
a-
was somebody about to say something?
What is this?
I have
The tooth, but we're not sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I see y'all. Let me spotlight y'all so we can see. It's a little blurry. I can see y'all trying to make it focus.
Yeah,
It
it's
looks
hard.
very yeah, it's hard when they're so tiny.
Mhm.
Oh, wrong.
It's definitely a tooth.
Oh, it's focusing a little bit.
It looks like an angel shark.
Angel sharks are teeny, teeny, tiny. Yeah. They're usually not that wide though.
Okay.
Yeah, they're usually like a really thin point.
Yeah.
So that might be something more like a requiem shark.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's such like a perfect little triangle.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
I know. So I know that if I keep looking
Why'd
at
you
these
mute
teeth
me?
and thinking, oh, it's such a cute little tooth, and then I think I
have a
would not think
question.
it was cute if I came up against the actual animal. Okay, who had a question?
I have a question.
Let's see. You're talking, but I can't see who it is.
Just give her a second so she can fix it.
I'm Elliot.
Elliot. Okay, what is your question, Elliot?
What is this?
I'm gonna spotlight you again so we can get a better. Oh wait, no, darn it! I accidentally turned off your video, Elliot. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, now you're back on video and spotlight.
Phosphate.
Phosphate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You've got a mineral called phosphate.
It looks like little bubbles.
It does look like little bubbles. So this gravel that you have actually comes from a phosphate mine. Phosphate is a mineral that is in bones and teeth, and like after bones and teeth get buried, the phosphate can kind of like seep out and then form into these bubbles. And they mine it for several different purposes. The most common one is fertilizer. So yeah, a
okay.
lot of times if you buy commercial fertilizer, it's actually ground up fossil material.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah,
wow.
yeah. But there's the mine in North Carolina where they're after the phosphate, and they just have to kind of like get through all the fossils first. And so they send the fossils over to a museum and then just get to the phosphate that's under them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really cool. Okay. So like I said, guys, my friend Deva knows a whole lot about fossils. So while we have her here, do y'all have any last questions for her before we wrap up? Let's see. Okay. I see.
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead. Yeah. What's your question?
Yes.
Oh, gotta spotlight you so I can see. Oops, one.
There you go.
That appears to be coral.
Okay.
Oh no, maybe not. Well, that's very weird.
It's
I-
yeah, it's very interesting looking.
I have a question.
1 second. We're looking at this fossil that the Reyes kids are showing us. What do you have any thoughts?
That might be a barnacle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So you know those things that grow on like the side of a boat that kind of look like little mini volcanoes. I think that might be what you have.
A little barnacle.
A little
Wow.
barnacle. Yeah.
Okay, Elliot, was that you that had a question?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
What is this?
Let me get you back up on a spotlight. Okay.
That's some shell.
That is another piece of shell.
Yep.
Okay. It's cool looking though.
Mhm.
Yeah. I like all the little shell pieces. I think they're neat.
Miss Camille,
All the different patterns. Yes.
we had a question before you go. What are your guys' favorite dinosaurs?
Ooh.
Oh.
So one of the ones that I know the most about is called the Acrocanthosaurus. And its name means high-spined lizard. It kind of looks like, it almost looks like a T-Rex, but it's got this big sail down its back. And if y'all have ever been to Glenrose and seen the little footprints in the ground over there, some of them are an Acrocanthosaurus. If you see the one that's got 3 toes, it's the one with the, it's a carnivore, and it had the 3-toed feet. So you can see its footprints out in Glenrose. And so it lived kind of around this area. Yeah, so that's my favorite.
My favorite dinosaur is Struthiomimus.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it was one of the ostrich mimics. It's not actually mimicking an ostrich. 'Cause ostriches didn't exist yet, but it's one of those long-legged running dinosaurs, and I absolutely love it.
That's really cool. All right, any other questions?
We love the T-Rex.
A
Yeah,
classic.
Yeah.
T-Rex is a good one. All right, awesome. Well, we will leave y'all with your gravel. Like I said, you can
What
put
did
it
you do
away and continue looking at it later. What was the other question?
What do you do with the dinosaur egg?
With a dinosaur egg? Is this a joke or a question? Oh, okay. I totally forgot that I gave you these. Okay, I have one next to me. Yeah, so this is just like, I just had these, and so this is like a little extra for y'all. So what y'all have in here, you can open it and look at it if you want to. They do kind of look like candy, but they are not candy. Don't eat them. I put that on the little sheet. But y'all are just gonna pop this in a cup of water, and it'll grow a little toy dinosaur after about 2 days. You have to leave it for at least 48 hours for it to grow something. But yeah, it'll just pop open and a little dinosaur toy will pop out, and it's pretty cool. So that's just kind of something extra that was related to the program. So I included it in the kit. Thank you for asking about that, because I was going to totally forget to mention it. Oh, and I also did want to mention, once again, make sure you pick up kits for Back to School Bash, which is this Saturday, I think at 11 a.m. on Facebook. And we're doing in-person programs in the fall. So we're actually at Warmack Library filming right now. Usually I'm at Shotwell, but we're at Warmack. And Warmack Library is where we're going to be doing in-person homeschool hub. So I'm not sure what we're doing yet for September, but I will be sending that information about 2 weeks before the program, like I always do. And so, yeah, I'll send that to y'all when I have that information. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoy your fossil gravel. I hope y'all liked the program. And can we have a round of applause for Miss Deva for joining us today? Thank you so much, Miss Deva. We enjoy having you here. And I will see y'all in person very soon. Thank y'all.
I have a question
Bye.
about the.
Thank you.